ready for your punishment, slave.
I sometimes scream out, no. When really I mean, yes. Yes, yes! And this is why we have the safe word. Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop. She's not a Christian!
Safe word with Jason Rouse.
All right, hello, and welcome to the Swapcast edition of Getting Hard in Nate's Backyard.
And Jason Rouse's safe word.
Ah, awesome. Glad we could come together here, buddy.
Yeah, man, it's been a couple years, literally to the date, because I was here Easter weekend 2 years ago for the annual Jason Rouse fucking terrorized Calgary tour.
Actually, it was 3. It was 2014.
Was it?
Yeah, because I stared at all those. We did a record together, just so everybody knows we're going to play some of it here. But yeah, because it was 2015 when you had the release, right? And we were down in LA.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, fucked up, eh?
Oh, yes, that's right. We did a CD release party at the Hollywood Improv. And was that in Halloween? But anyway, so...
Yeah, Halloween.
It was Halloween.
Yeah, because my band played that festival the night before. Mm-hmm. And then we flew out there that day.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
That was another fucking crazy night. It just kind of follows me around.
No shit.
Traveling circus. Yeah, my buddy Boomer always would give me shit because I'd show up at his house at 4 a.m. and just bring the whole bar back to his place, all fucked out of their head on drugs. Shit. I don't want you and your fucking idiot friends all coked up here.
Yeah, that night we went to that after party. It was pretty intense. Should we maybe... Well, that was the night you had your CD release, and then we all ended up at somebody's house for an after party. And, well, maybe we shouldn't name names, but there's a bunch of rad people there that played at the show.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, at the end we were leaving, and we'd called an Uber, and this guy that he, like, wouldn't stop hugging me. Like, we ended up leaving because this guy... wouldn't stop hugging me.
Yeah, he was
very aggressively gay. Like, I told him, like, if you do that again, like, something's going to happen. And what happened was...
raped.
We left. Yeah.
yeah. I will rape you.
We just ended up leaving, but...
Yeah, you get, you know...
And then you ended up... What ended up with... You were trying to throw him into an Uber? You missed or something?
We tried to throw him in the Uber, and then he wouldn't leave, and then I went back in the house, and then he said he was going to call the cops, and then I came back out.
And then you literally tried to throw him into an Uber.
I threw that kid down on the ground. I started kicking him up the ass down the street. But, yeah, he did go flying pretty good. I was pretty pissed. It was not a good night to end it up. But, yeah, but you run into all kinds of knuckleheads down there.
Yeah, that's just L.A.
Yeah, it's totally a weird collection of retards and misfits.
I was actually surprised that was all that happened, was just an overly aggressive gay guy, because I can deal with that. I just didn't want to get any gang banging situation.
No, you're there with
where I'm getting gang banged by somebody,
fucking
by
some hooker with a piece of dog shit, crying, going, "You're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy."
Mm-hmm. So, how are your shows here this weekend? You did. We should plug your shows. You just did, first of all, how was this weekend?
This weekend was
at
good.
Calgary, Yuck.
I felt the Thursday and Friday were kind of wishy-washy. I found that there was a bit of a tug of war of wills between me and them. They wouldn't submit.
Yeah.
But Saturday, people came in with just open to the whole idea of it, and it was a lot of fun. There were some scathing remarks made to various patrons during the show.
Yeah, it was cool. I was looking around and I was like, actually, this is a pretty cool crowd. Like, they
were cool, yeah.
Minus some like weird jocks and stuff like that, but whatever.
Totally,
they were into it. You could tell they'd heard of you.
Yes,
which was cool.
It makes a big difference. And that's a weird thing, you know. It's a bit of a balancing act because I do get to do these shows in various places where they specifically are coming to see that. So they're already invested in what I've got coming to the table anyway. And then there's shows where it's just people who are out for the night.
Yeah.
Maybe they've seen comedy twice live.
That's not ideal.
And I'm their first night. It's jarring. So if that's the majority of it, because I'm very committed in deep to what I do. So there's not a lot of compromise.
Yeah.
And if they get more, want to take some moral high ground, I become more disrespectful to them. And then it becomes a very, very awkward situation, to say the least.
Have you noticed, like, even from, say, 3 years ago till now, like, it seemed to me like there was more people there on the Saturday, no? Like, it seems to be, like, building a bit, right? People are...
Yeah, the shows have been, attendance-wise, they were great. We were dealing with some hockey events and things like that.
Right, yeah, it's playoff
So it wasn't as busy, but I did want to be here for Easter.
Yeah, why? I don't get that.
I don't know. I have, like, maybe some forms of OCD.
Okay. It just looks good on the calendar.
Yeah. There's something I think when I was younger, it would be like I would look at the tables and line things up and then and make it look like a geometric sign. It's some sort of symmetry. It's a form of maybe
OCD.
control, some sort of
Sure.
thing like that. So. When I get into a pattern or something that I can see that there's some math in it, I'll start to gravitate towards that.
Sure. Yeah,
It's my own personal kind of thing. But, I work off of the seasons really dictate to where I am and what I'm doing.
Sure.
And so my calendar, it generally the same every year.
Yeah. And it's nice around here around that time. It's not like... I mean, unless it's a freak thing or something, it's not usually minus 30 and shit like that.
And that's what I do too. I look at
melted.
April on the West Coast because I can handle the spring here.
Yeah.
And then do a fall on the East Coast.
Sure.
Kind of thing. So I'm thinking about flipping that around next year.
Yeah.
And doing a reverse thing and start in Ontario and then finish later in the year on the West Coast.
Oh yeah, cool.
And then pop out to California. But we'll see.
But you do a lot of... How many times have you gone around the world? I don't think people... Because you just had your 20th anniversary, right?
Yeah, I've been doing
comedy.
20 years. June 25th, I think. My first show. Or June 20th, I did my first show in Vancouver. When Yuck Yucks was the Plaza Nations, I'd moved from Hamilton. I fled from Hamilton.
Yeah.
When I was like 22 or 23, which I think was great. Luckily I had a friend who was crazy and very adventurous.
Yeah.
And it was something that we kind of discussed. He was in acting and I was considering doing something in comedy or music. And
yeah, right.
when he said, let's just do it. Like, this is fuck, man. We're going to die here. Like, this is like, let's just try something. So then started doing comedy and a couple of years later. Took me a while to decompress and kind of
But
make
you've
the
been around the
transition.
world like 3 or 4 times at least, right? Maybe more than that?
Yeah, I think I've done like 15 countries.
Yeah.
What's
What's the weirdest one?
Russia?
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. How many...
That was a weird one for a lot of reasons.
How many dates did you do there?
I was only I did a television show and I bombed on it. Yeah, really bad. I was yelling at the house band. It was a debacle. It was a total debacle.
And they had no idea what you were saying.
I think it was a mob production. They paid me in cash. They wouldn't let me drink vodka on stage. It was a debacle. I was really disappointed because it was Russia and I was on television. It was I was on the first English stand-up comedy show in Russia. I don't know even if it went to air. The first day was all Russian comedians, and then the second day was international. So there was a Danish guy, a Swedish guy, sounded like a bad street joke, and a Canadian guy. And the visa I needed was a pain in the ass to get. The whole thing, it was very rushed, and because of that, my friend, she spoke Russian, so I had her come with me.
Oh, yeah.
They're bilingual. I didn't want to get into a dialogue of lost in translation with this paperwork, and I'm filling out forms, and I've got a deadline. So I brought her along. She was kind enough to come with me, and she talked to the guy, and she goes, yeah, they're angry. I go, why? She goes, because I'm living here and they can't. They work here, but they go back to Russia.
Oh,
and
they're mad at her.
Yeah, and just in general.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think
That's
it's like,
weird.
I think it's like a class thing or something.
Right.
No one was smiling. Like I thought I was waiting in line to get bread. It was a post-apocalyptic third world shit, and no one was signing. So he gives me the forms. We fill them out. We come back. I go like we're on a deadline. Like this is the one stop, or it's nay or whatever. So. Get the forms. I hand him. He asked me again. Blah blah blah. I go, yeah, I'm doing the TV show. He goes, well, you need a business visa. This is a tourist visa. I go, I told you when I was here. And she's yelling at him in Russian, and they're back and forth. I'm just sitting there going, oh fuck. And it was a nice chunk of money too. So, and I really wanted to see Russia, even though it was in December.
Oh yeah.
So I get to Russia. Finally, he lets the tourist thing slide, and I get to the airport. I don't know what airport in Moscow, but there's snowdrifts in the airport. Like there's guys in with machine guns and German shepherds walking around the airport.
Fuck.
People are getting hammered. I remember when I was
in the
leaving,
airport.
Yeah, it's like 6 a.m. and they're eating hot dogs and beer at the airport with fur coats on.
That's why.
So.
I always thought, why can't we drink for 24 hours? Because we turn into Russia.
That's what I always like seeing LG from Entombed. All his airport visits are just him with beers. It's just him drinking beer.
They had problems the last time. Was it Entombed? There was a band that had problems the last time they were in Russia. Some fucking right-wing Christian came up and attacked them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think
surprised.
it was Entombed. Anyway, sorry.
When I'll see them in December. I think. Or I'm going to go see the
they
Haunted.
spit on him or something like that.
That happens.
Yeah, and it was like, fuck you, and it turned into this whole thing. I remember seeing it come up in whatever zine.
Yeah, man. People are have different politics in the world and handle it accordingly.
So I don't know if most of my listeners have ever we'll come back to some rad conversation and stuff, and this is mostly just an excuse to grab a beer, but we should play the beginning of the CD we did. So we did this Easter weekend 3 years ago.
This was against my will. Nate here strong-armed me into this. I was bullied into putting out a comedy album. I remember at Dickens,
That's right.
and when you were like, let's do an album. And I'm like, I don't have it yet.
Yeah.
I go, I
remember I would always ask you, do you have a CD? Do you have a CD?
Yeah.
No, you've never had a CD. What the fuck?
I was
That's
in
where
the
it was coming
process. You were about 8 months ahead of schedule.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I had some pieces and ideas and things, and that's why the editing took so long, because it was a lot of, fumbled ideas, and the structure wasn't the way I wanted to present it in the end. But
that's what I
worked
thought
with it.
That's what I thought was nuts about it. I'd never done a comedy album before, so it was we had 5 performances.
Yes.
So that's what took so long too. It's sitting there and going through all 5 of them.
Yes.
And being like, no.
Hours.
And it's just like the studio that way, where it's you do it live and it's fine. But when you're putting it on a record that's going to stone, I mean, you want it I missed that subtle nuance there. The other one has the better subtle nuance. Let's try and edit it in,
Yeah, that's where you get a chance to show your craft.
Yeah, sure.
And
that's why I had no problem taking the time to do it, because I wanted to put the best thing out.
Sure. I think we both wanted to put our best foot forward in it. And it did take a long time, but it came out the way I wanted it. So
yeah, it was pretty cool how we did it too, just kind of all over Skype and stuff.
Yeah, I'd be traveling on tour. I'd be like, all right, we're in Norway. I'll see you at 6 p.m., blah, blah, blah. We had to coordinate the timelines, and it went on and on. And I'd listen on Skype, and we go through and make the edits.
Yeah. So go to jasonrouse.com right now and buy the CD. But we're just going to give you, right now, this is right near this front of the CD. We're going to skip the intro and just play the first bit, because it's pretty awesome. We'll be right back. Oh, the name of this bit is, it starts out with Larry Ann, because that's what we did. I mean, I've since seen other guys' comedy albums, and they name one thing for like 7 or 8 minutes, like a song, right? But
yeah, mine are like little punk rock songs.
Yeah, totally. Because what does it end up with the outro? Yeah, 52 tracks.
52 tracks
with Daddy's Pussy.
We'll play that, I hope. Can we close on Daddy's Pussy?
Fucking right.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Who doesn't love a lesbian? They know how to drink and take a punch, don't they? But no matter how much they look like men, they always cry like girls when you kick them in the cunt, huh? Not so tough now, huh, Larry Ann? Kind of girl you gonna push your balls together to tit fuck her?
Fix that, eh?
Now you're the fucking front row. How does that feel, you fucking cunty cocksucker? Fuck you, you old bastard. You'll be dead by the end of the show, and I'm gonna fuck your wife while she holds your hand and you slip off into oblivion.
So yeah, that was Larry Ann going into Zero Fucks Moving Inc. with the beginning of Happy 30th.
Yeah.
So that was funny that we were just saying that was off the first night, the Thursday. And see, I think it was we got nailed by a snowstorm or something. And they didn't, I remember you were really mad because they didn't seat anybody in the front row.
Yeah, everyone was scared. And I know why. I was just angry that it was so thick. Like, there was like a moat between me and my victims. And I wanted them to come to me. So I took out all the water. Yeah, I threw all the tables and chairs in a fit of rage.
It was something to see, man. It was fucking hilarious.
I was, I wanted to come out swinging.
Yeah.
And, but it was definitely because it was so sparse and I wanted them to be closer. So I moved everything out of the way so I could be there. Yeah. And yelled at this poor old couple.
Yeah, the poor old couple.
It was their 30th anniversary. You old cunt.
Oh, man. That shit was like, that's universe shit. You don't get fucking handed that by, like, that's beyond luck a little bit. That's like, holy
fuck. 2 blue hairs on their 30th anniversary front row.
No idea. With their son, too, right?
Yes, that's right, with their son. And
who didn't have a girlfriend with him.
Yes.
It wasn't a double date.
He's going to watch his parents fuck on their anniversary.
Oh,
for the diaper swap. That was fun. But again, sometimes you got to work with what you got.
Yeah.
I didn't have much that night.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about your dates a bit, if that's cool. You just did the Calgary.
Yeah, I started 3 weeks ago at the Hollywood Improv for the Kill to Live tour.
Right, that's the name of the tour. Yeah,
yeah, cool. Kill to Live tour. So started off at the Improv in Hollywood, then we myself and the voices in my head, we went up to Vancouver. Vancouver's great. I've got some really good friends there. And it's just a cool city. I lived there for 3 years. I'm very familiar with the kind of lay of the land. And I enjoy the Vancouver crowds. And they're arguably one of the most politically correct audiences. And I think that might have something to do with how well I do there, in the sense that it's very PC city. And when I show up there, they know that they don't have to subject themselves to any of that stuff. So
the people that are sick of all that shit are like, Rouse is in town.
Yeah. We're going to hear a couple of N-bombs. You know what I mean? So I really lean on them, on their sore spots. You know, anything that I know that they're politically sensitive about is where I'll start and just start digging.
The time before you were at Yuck Yucks, before we recorded, so that was probably a year or two before that. I remember I went and saw you, and you started ripping on this fat chick in the crowd, and fucking after we're standing there, like outside or going outside for a smoke, and this fucking hillbilly with a tucked in fucking like lumberjack shirt and the fucking like snap on racing hat is, you're fucking making fun of my wife, buddy. You need to apologize. And I heard all this and I was like, oh fuck, come on, man. Like, are you kidding me? You think, like, that's one thing I wanted to say. We've talked about this a bunch just because we've been hanging out for so long and stuff, but like, you really are different off stage. Like, you're not just walking around. It's just like Slayer. Like, Kerry King's not walking around soloing all night, all day. Like, you get off stage and you're not like cutting up your friends terribly like that, and you're not a terrible person.
No, per se. No, well, you gotta have an anchor. If you live over there, which I had, and it's part of the reason I left Hamilton, is in that space all the 24/7, because I didn't know where the beginning and the ending thing was. And when I started doing stand-up, it helped me kind of corral all that into something relatively productive. And it's given me a 20-year career off the back of my despite and hatred for the world.
But when did that happen? Was that pre-Gemini or post-Gemini? Because for the people that don't know, you won a Gemini in 2001. For what? Best New Comedian?
No, it was a Gemini Award. It's like an American Emmy Award.
Yeah, it's
TV.
the Canadian Emmys. It's basically,
and it's for writing, individual performance and writing.
Oh, fuck.
So I was like a solo performer who wrote his own thing.
Was that from the Ed the Sock bit when you were in the hot tub?
No. Oh, that was great. That was my buddy Craig Campbell hosted that Ed the Sock. If anybody in Canada is listening, was a late night variety talk show
with a sock.
And my friend Craig Campbell would sit at a desk and hang out with Steve Kersner, who's the Sock, who's a great character.
And kind of like Ed the insult comic sock, too.
Yeah, he was like a Don Rickles sock puppet. For real. Like, it was a sock forever. And it was kind of like a late night. You'd come home all fucked up, and it'd be on at like 2 a.m. They had go get answers. And Craig said, do you want to come and do the show? We got a hot tub. So I came in the hot tub with these two troubled teens. And me,
they do not look comfortable with what's happening at all.
I think the one had a miscarriage in the pool. I don't think you're supposed to be in that kind of temperature when you're that pregnant. Because the water went brown to red. Brown was me, red was her, definitely. I'm not a pig.
Jesus.
It looked like beef au jus. Is that what, like beef dip?
Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Au jus. It was more like poo. Gross. But I was in a hot tub with these young ladies. It was supposed to be very sexy and Playboy Mansion, but it was more like The Shining.
Yeah, it was funny. It was really funny. Like you're the master at making people feel uncomfortable. That's for sure. that's for sure.
Thank you. I like it. I've spent most of my life in discomfort, so I figured I'd pass some of that around.
No, but to just kind of with my question, like. Did that, because I've seen the original like Comedy Now special you have from, that was around that time, right?
Europe was
no, but I mean the Canadian, like the CTV hour that you did your special. Like back when you had blonde hair and you didn't look like a psycho.
Yeah,
you looked like a nice young boy.
Yeah, I was
and it was getting racier, but it wasn't full blown. Like, you know what I mean?
No.
Like, what happened there? When did you flip? Was that before you started comedy, or was that
after the Gemini Award?
I remember
my mentor and friend Mark Breslin, who gave me my start.
Okay,
and came up to me after my Gemini Award, put his arm around me, and goes, if this was in the States, you'd have agents, producers all over you trying to get you to do a show. And I said, yes. And later down the road, the Comedy Network and I had some meetings about something, but I was already off on another path around that time. But when I got to Europe, when I moved to London, because I made a couple trips over to England and went to the Edinburgh Festival and wanted to check out, because my friend Craig, who hosted Ed the Sock, would come back to Canada with all these fucking. He was like Indiana Jones. Like, I was in Switzerland snowboarding and doing gigs. Then I was in Dubai, and he was traveling all over the globe. So I found out that my grandfather and grandmother. Well, my grandmother's from Cork, Ireland.
Oh, wow!
And my grandfather's from Grimsby, England, which is near Manchester. It's like a port town. It's apparently pretty shit, but because of my grandfather's bloodline, I was eligible for an ancestral visa.
Holy shit.
And when I found out that, and I had a major agency management company in the UK that was courting me to be a client of theirs, I was gonna go anyway. And then when this management company came in, they plugged me into the whole European comedy circuit instantly.
Okay.
I had the first year Holland, Dubai, and everywhere from Portsmouth to Newcastle. I went up and down the country so many times, and
so a lot of England shit.
A lot of that, and it tied into music, and it tied into theater. It was like I wasn't so much of an anomaly. I was just kind of, quote, a heavy metal comic.
Yeah.
Which helped me get into do multiple dozens of metal festivals.
Like
the
you
biggest.
and you hosted the Golden God Awards one year,
I
right?
got
like, that's fucking
I
nuts,
hosted
man.
Metal Hammer Awards. Metal Hammer
Oh,
done a store. They did like a 2-page article on me, like that. These things were easy sells to that. To them, they got it immediately.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I got this idea to do this. I want to do a rock comedy thing and blah blah blah. And I was kind of looking at using guys like Kinnison and Dice and things like that were doing these rock stadium type comedians, and I wanted to bring some of that back into the scene. But it was in Canada. They were very short sighted, and it wasn't really
conservative. With stuff like that.
No,
right?
there was no risk factor, and it was looked upon as maybe a little juvenile or whatever. They just didn't get it. And then after my moving to England and touring and stuff, I just started to kind of free up a little bit more, and it was allowed, as long as it was funny, I could do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So there were situations where some of the people would complain, like those fucking two knuckleheads
that was so funny. I had a tough guy behind you. That was so funny, man.
Pig wife. I don't really get that confrontations too much from dudes. It's mostly sometimes these guys. He wanted me to apologize to his wife, but he wasn't hurt. He knows his wife's a pig. Right?
She's just yelling at him to fucking.
Yeah, she was being a drunk cunt. I don't really go. If I go after somebody specific, it's never done in a malicious way. The dialogue between us is horrific.
Yeah, it's like you're firing ICBMs off a fucking frigate in the ocean. It just happens to hit in the middle of somewhere.
Yeah, totally. And it's not personal. It's friendly fire.
Yeah,
right? It's totally friendly fire. But if you want to challenge me, we can do that too. Yeah. And I will be all the boyish charm will go out the window.
Awesome. So, and then that led you, like you ended up on that. How did it come about that you did that?
Thanks for paying attention to my career, by the way. This is like the first time that anybody's actually asked specific things that I actually gave a shit about that I've done.
Oh, cool.
The general population doesn't care about what I'm doing. Oh,
well, yeah. Same with my band. Like that's what you said it earlier. So what do you think then about being, because I've told people, I'm like, this guy's the fucking slayer of comedians. So what do you think about that? Do you like that, or do you think that's stupid? Or?
I think, for somebody who's in the slayer, that's not far off the mark.
Sure, yeah.
So I think is a comparison as far as it's like very horrific and
Yeah, I'm
fast
telling a bunch of
and heavy.
metalheads this too.
Yeah.
Right? I'm walking around going, like, and it should also be mentioned that we had you come out and MC Metalfest 2, which was fucking awesome. And,
that was great. Skeleton Witch was outstanding.
Yeah, that was the best one so far.
That was man. There was so many good bands, and just hanging out with you over the last 4 or 5 days, I've seen a lot of good bands, and I'm like, oh, where are these guys from? Oh, they're local. Where are these guys from? Oh, these guys are local. You have all these local,
or Edmonton, right?
Yeah, it's like Alberta, British Columbia has, Toronto too, even, every major city in the country. But I find that there's a very young, vibrant, extreme music scene in Calgary.
Yeah, it's funny.
Partly because of you. You planted a lot of seeds here.
Yeah, sure.
I see all these kids when you walk around town. Hey, Nate.
Yeah.
And you don't even look at them. I think that's great.
I try to say hi. But, this weekend was actually my friend Cage, who's another fellow rad promoter here in town. Like, I've taken the year off promoting after last year's Metalfest, just out of exhaustion. But she did this thing this weekend called Not a Fest. Yeah. And that's what this was. It was just a bunch of shows that lined up. So, and it started on Thursday with Stryker, and then that Plague Bringer on Friday. It was their CD release. So it was just, and then even Sunday, because it's a long weekend, it was a good. They had a metal show too, so it was a good weekend of shows. Which was, pretty cool.
Distortion had some good bands over the last couple of nights.
Yeah, Distortion.
You hated most of them, but
that's only because I do sound for a living.
I get it. It's
I
like
don't hate them. I don't hate. But
it's like drunks telling me their jokes.
Yeah, sure, right. Yeah, you gonna plug the DI into the bass?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Fuck. I'm gonna mic it too. Is that okay? Anyways, we should play some more of this.
Should we?
Oh, what's a good one?
It's great. You know what? I have to say
we should do Fuck It or Club It and Easter on Acid. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Easter on Acid is it wasn't really formed yet, but on some ad libs I kind of sewed it together.
Yeah.
There was a lot of writing on the fly.
I mean, I think maybe we should go into Smelly Hole Horror too, but we'll see what happens. We'll be right back.
It's good to be back in Canada. I'm here still where the weather's cold, so, come in for the Canadian beaver. Anybody got some of that fall curtain left over? I was in Edmonton last week, and I pulled down the girl's underwear. I'm like, fuck, do I fuck this or club it like a seal? I don't know what that is a big, hairy hole there. Just... We meet again, Chewy. Whatever happens, I'm going to end up with a new pair of slippers. Look at all that hair. Comb it to the side so I can see where you piss. Make it look like Hitler. That'll be cool. Big old hairy, just a Zamboni curtain. Just... Pussy hair so long, the harder you hit her, it tickles you on the back of the neck. I do love beavers, they're like old men with beards. They've all got stories and bad breath, don't they? Our forefathers, Jebediah. Happy Easter, everybody. That's what it is. I love Easter. I watch Passion of the Christ on acid. It's fucking great. That fucking dirty hippie dies at the end, and he comes back to life and fights the Terminator. It's awesome.
I'll be back.
I'll be back first. Ow, my sandal fell off. This Easter sucks. You're not my father. I wish I was around for the crucifixion. I'd walk right up to the front and go, you're not going to put that in the Bible, are you? I'd wait for him to come, too. Probably clear up my psoriasis. Hot, big, chunky Jesus load just on my shoulder like a wet towel. Just, I guess that's where holy water comes from. Look at me, bitch! Stop smelling your fingers, you weirdo. Front to back, not back to front. Kind of pussy you gotta cut an onion in front of it just to go down on it. Look at me, you smelly hole whore. Look at her friends like, oh my God, someone's been reading your diary. Or should I say diarrhea? What's your name? Oh God? Don't worry, I'll keep my hand flat when I'm feeding you from behind. Pop a couple of Werther's Originals in the old show pony. How old are you? You're not telling me shit. This is for your own benefit. I just want them to know what they're going to write on the evidence bag when they find your fucking body. Look at me!
We were listening to, we went track 8, Fuck It or Club It. Track 9, Easter on Acid. And we got through to track 10, Smelly Hole Whore. What I love about that shit is the big pause in that one part. Like everybody just has no idea what to think, and
they're shell shocked.
Yeah,
a bomb has just gone off, and now I'm addressing the holiday season.
Yeah, I like how that could go on the holiday cut of this record. That was the Jason Rouse does Easter.
It's just me eating a chocolate rabbit with corn in it. It's all over my face with a Justin Bieber sweat stain down the front.
Well, God damn it, I'm going to tell you, it was fun to do all this, man. It was like, especially the way all the planets aligned so that we could be there at your CD release. And
you just happened that you were in LA when I was lining up to do my improv show.
Yeah, we were in Berkeley the night before, and so it was like $69 to fly to LA. It was fucking awesome. Even like I was going back and forth at the mastering house like the day before because like I had my computer with me in Berkeley, and it was like, oh fuck, I encoded this thing wrong or some shit for mastering, and it was like, oh, you gotta send it again. It was like, fuck, good thing I brought my laptop because we were able to pull it all off and get all those CDs. But
very cool.
It was awesome. Check them out. They were called United Manufacturing. They were really good with that. They were fucking. They're like, we ordered a whole whack of them, and it was like, well, we can get you 50 like tomorrow, but we can't get you the whole thing. And then they sent the rest later, which was really fucking cool. So, yeah, they're right in LA there. You went and picked them up, right?
Yeah.
They're right in Hollywood, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it was off of Fairfax, maybe.
Yeah.
But, went down there.
Yeah, no,
get some young guys doing a CD.
Yeah, no.
And I want to do maybe some vinyl the next one.
Oh, yeah, that'd be wild.
Yeah, like some picture. You know that picture I have of that girl's pussy that's wrenched open?
Yes. God damn it.
It's
with all the gaping asshole ones, it's hard to keep them.
I'm a big fan of gaping holes.
Yeah.
I've got Boomer's asshole. I call it the Mona Lisa, but people describe it more as the Scream.
Okay, I want you to tell this story because I still think you're totally fucking bullshitting me on this, and you're taking me for a ride on this. Like,
okay,
what is wrong with your friend's asshole? This is terrible.
It's really bad. There's a lot going on back there. My friend, Hamilton firefighter, children's entertainer.
Oh my fuck,
Boomer Phillips sent me a picture. Like, 5-6 years ago. And his girlfriend took a picture of him with his asshole spread. But when you spread that thing, it looks like a fucking smashed can of beans in a baseball glove. It's huge. And his dick's all fucked up. And it's a disaster.
You see an X-Wing fly into it. Come out somewhere else.
It has a Death Star, doesn't it? Yeah. It smells like it. And when you're around it, you're like, it's better known as the Gaper. If anyone's interested in seeing this photo, you can email me at jasonrouse@gmail.com. I'll please send you the Gaper. And He sent
And follow him on Snapchat, by the way, too.
Yeah.
Jason Rouse 666.
Yeah.
Get the daily scat chat.
Yeah, my scat chats, better known as the Log Father to my fans. Yeah, he's an animal, and he's had pinworms for over a year.
Fuck.
And
And
that-
these are like some parasitic worm.
They look like little white worms, a little bigger than
that is so
rice, and
fucking gross.
they come out. Kids get them because they play around in dirt, and then they touch them. They get parasites, and they lay eggs, and they breed all around your rectum at night, and
That's
leave
so
this
fucked.
like marmalade, like
You're seriously not fucking with me?
no, like chutney. He said
Fuck,
that
man.
when his girlfriend gets like Cinnabon stains on her legs at night.
It's got that little bit of sand in it somehow. Why?
Some grit. It's all aquarium gravel he ate as a kid.
Oh, it's all the pinworm shit in there.
So I tell him, like, because I think my brother had them at one time. I might even had them once when I was a kid.
It's a Hamilton thing.
Yeah,
That's how you
I
get
think
jumped
you
in
get it
in
from the
Hamilton.
drinking water. I was raised in a strip club. I had pink eye until I was 15. So I asked him, I go, did you wash your hands? And he goes, never. And he's always digging around in his asshole. So let's do the math.
Yeah.
And eats a lot of sashimi and stuff too. You can pick up things, parasites through raw fish.
Bad sushi.
Mercury poisoning, all that shit.
Yeah, sure.
But his asshole is a disaster. It's taken on a life of its own. It's not like, it's more of an art installation than a gaping
horrible.
mud puddle.
Is that what you see when you're driving to Hamilton?
And I know people are listening and go, oh, your buddy's asshole, it ain't that big. It's huge.
It's fucking huge. It's fucked
huge. It looks like he's been peeling pineapples in a mud puddle.
up. You're the first full bore comedian I've ever hung out with, and my brother would always bullshit the fuck out of me. So I'm always
I know.
thinking that you're fucking with me.
No.
And then you send me his pictures. Like, is this photoshopped? You're like, no. It's like, holy
The
fuck,
gaper.
man.
It's a tragic picture.
How does
And
that happen
I
to a
said-
heterosexual dude?
He's got, a birth
Does he
defect.
bang black guys? Maybe.
No,
on the
I think
side?
black
Is it
guys
possible?
bang him.
Yeah, well, there you go. He's obviously a power bottom.
He looks like he fucks back.
Yeah, like 8 fucks back.
That's Boomer Phillips.
I was gonna say, you keep saying his fucking name.
Jeff
like,
Phillips from Sault Ste. Marie. Oh, actually, I'll give him a plug. He's one of the bullies in Goon 2. And he's
Jesus
on
Christ.
Letterkenny now. He's on Letterkenny. I've never seen the
wow.
show. Yeah, he just got a part on
He's an
Letterkenny.
actor.
Yeah, he's an actor.
That should make all of them nervous.
Firefighter and a hate crime with his asshole. You smell that picture before you see it.
Fuck, dude, does he like bust this thing out at parties or something?
I do. When he's around. And he has no shame.
Come on, Boomer!
He loves it. He loves it. And the worst part, I've been sending that picture internationally for years, and it's built up a reputation that precedes him. So when he got to L.A., he came by Jay Davis's show at the Parlor on Monday. Did you come down on that show? One
Whose
night?
show?
On Melrose Avenue. Every Monday, Jay Davis does
No, we left that night.
Okay,
Fuck.
that's right. But Boomer was in town. His girlfriend was on the Canadian women's doubles beach volleyball.
Oh.
And she had a game in Long Beach, and she said, come into LA and hang out for a bit. I got a show on Monday. And I've been showing that picture to comics. They hate it. No one likes it.
I know, it's terrible.
No one likes it.
It's the worst.
a terrible picture. It's the worst.
Just knowing that exists is bad.
Do you know that picture of the Asian girl with her legs behind her head in the bathtub and the shit spraying up in her face? I'm gonna eclipse that picture.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my friend a star. So anyway,
Yeah.
He know-
What a shitty way to become a star,
Yeah.
pardon the pun.
Mudhole Joe.
Yeah. Fuck.
So I introduced him to Jay Davis, arguably one of the biggest comedy promoters in Los Angeles. And Jay extends his hand and goes, "Oh, the Gaper. Nice to meet you." And his face is just like, yeah, guilty as charged. Oops-a-daisy. And anyway, yeah, it's a terrible, terrible photo. But yeah, I've sent it to people all over the place.
How often do you do the scat chats? Because I'm honest, I don't follow you on that. I don't do
I've been
Snapchat at all.
blocked. Morton
but-
from Mayhem blocked me. The guitar player from Mayhem blocked me. My buddy
I
Morty,
bet.
he blocked me. Astero blocked me. I've got like hundreds of people who. Okay, I've been doing when all these different social media platforms would come out, and I would be at shows, and people would be doing streaming video when you're trying to do stand up and on their fucking phones and disrupting the whole process. And then I saw some girl at Jay Davis's show Snapchatting, and I'm just like, fuck these things, man. They're being disruptive to the art.
Yeah.
And people were being selfish and trying to take a little piece of it and then run with it to up their stock in some form or another.
Yeah, get more hits.
I captured the comedian, but you're not invested into the product of it.
I think they're just trying to get a Kramer moment.
That too. And they just think they hear somebody's famous and somebody, it's just very moths to a flame, as Metallica would say.
Oh, that new album's not too bad. Don't hate me.
You know
people.
what? It's
pretty good.
Dude.
It's better than the last one.
I
Saint
bailed.
Anger? Holy fuck.
After the Black Album, I bailed. I jumped ship. Because the first concert I went to was at Justice for All.
Whoa.
At Cobb's Coliseum, Queensryche opened.
Whoa.
And I've never been to any show like that before. And it was such a big deal that we ended up having to sleep outside in like minus 30 outside of Cobb's Coliseum. So there's like 100 skids all lined up outside of Cobb's Coliseum. People were stealing newspaper boxes and lighting them on fire. The fire department came like 6 times. There was some kid walking around on acid barefoot, and his skin was clicking on the sidewalk. His toes were like this. He was high on acid and minus 30 barefoot for like hours. It was fucking crazy. Anyway.
What I wanted to say was I actually, and sorry, Cam, but whatever. Like my band was playing, and like, okay, you want to put up a song, like, sure, okay, I can't stop people from doing this stuff, but I kind of really got inspiration from all you comedians where I got on stage and I was like, listen, man, like, why don't you watch the fucking show with your eyeballs? Yeah, they're way higher definition than this stupid phone. Like, take in the moment. Like, I don't want our stuff in a terrible format. Yeah. In the grainiest, standing in the shittiest spot, like the sound quality is terrible. Yeah. The video quality is terrible. Like, if you want to do something, let's do something. Yeah. And I get it. You're trying to promote yourself. And stuff, and that's selfish. All fine and everything, but we as a band are not here to promote you. And that's what it turns into, and that's what makes it selfish. Is like they are promoting themselves off of your art, and in that way, and that's where I think it's kind of shitty. Yes, it's like just enjoy the show and fucking tell your friends.
And they're selling themselves out by not being present at the show. Why are we
exactly? They're staring through this phone to get this shitty, to get it all in the middle frame.
And if that's how you want to see the show, just sit at home and go online and Google, because there's 100 other assholes that made the same fucking video.
Well, and that's what I said too. Is I was like, listen, people paid fucking cover to come in here. Yeah. And now there's all these fucking people sitting at home watching this in a terrible version. And, that's not going to make them want to come back out. No. They already don't want to go to shows, and that's fine. And they just watch these Facebook or like Periscope, when Periscope was bigger and all this stuff. And it's like, fuck, you could live a virtual existence in your fucking house with your 9.1 surround sound. I mean, why wouldn't you want to have it like full bore? Because that's awesome. That's
a foreign place to be present and in a group of people and sharing an experience.
Right. Some people just can't do that.
No, I think
they just can't fucking leave their house.
You're shaking your head going, you're blowing this for yourself. And but they've grown up in an environment where these are all ways of setting a status and a thumbs up and a thumbs down. It gives you some sort of social media presence or a value to what you're doing in your own life. When who cares?
Yeah.
Just go to the show. How was the show? It was fucking awesome. You should have been there. Well,
I think a lot of people, like, it was funny when I first moved to the city in 2001. I was my official title was Night Stalker at Canadian Superstore. And so I was stocking shelves from like 1 in the
you
morning.
meant like Richard Ramirez night
Yeah,
stalker.
yeah, it's
I'm
not
like,
that
you never
glamorous.
told me about you were a serial killer. Malachi.
But so I was new to the city, and I said, well, where do you go? And it was like, and local people get this the most, but it was like, oh, well, you can go to Ranchman's, which is like the hillbilly fucking
Gay bar by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
The Ranchman.
But they won't admit it.
He says, how come all the saddles have holes in them? Because that's how we fuck you, dum-dum.
And then they're like, oh, you could go, to some other like highfalutin nightclub or something. And then they're like, oh, you could go to the back alley, but I'd never go there. And then like the real awesome bar, the Underground, never even came up. And until I was like, hey, man, have you ever been to the Underground? And he's like, no, fuck, there's no way I'd go there. And I'm like, why, man? It's $6 pitchers. Are you fucking kidding me? This place is unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the toilet smells a little funny, but big fucking deal. Like, this is awesome,
It has some character.
Like, I feel like people are afraid that they're going to go out to some dingy club and get stabbed or something.
Well, these all...
Like, it's the same as going to your neighborhood pub, right? Like, that's my point.
There's... people were very tribal, and
or loners,
or want to be in accepted in the environment. That place that you want to go to, it wasn't a place where to be cool. Like it was just there to go and be yourself.
Yeah.
And
which is in turn what ended up making it cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it was cool, because no one was trying to be cool there.
Yeah.
Right? That's what made it cool. Don't go to bars.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
all
mean?
those people trying to be cool were at the nightclub.
Yeah.
Spending fucking $12 a drink. And,
Living a lie. They all have shitty lives.
Yeah.
Why don't you bring your shitty life down with shitty people and do shitty things and make you feel better?
All right, well, let's listen to some more of the CD real quick.
We
here.
should talk a little bit about the packaging.
The packaging.
I don't know if you know this or
Oh,
not.
yeah, right. Yeah. The art.
The guy who did that, he did a Kiss album cover. He did...
Yeah, he's done tons of stuff.
I think a Black Sabbath. He did a bunch of...
Sam
cars.
Sheeran.
Yeah, Mr. Sam.
Mr-Sam.com.
I was
check out
listening
his
to
stuff, man.
a lot of Mike Pat. This is how I came up with the concept for the cover. So I was listening to a lot of grindcore and Mike Patton. I had both libraries of tons of artists on shuffle while I was kind of building my ideas around this concept for this album. And the first, or not the first, but the Warner Brothers Mr. Bungle album with the clown face.
Yeah.
No, just Mr. Bungle.
Oh, yeah. The self-titled one.
Yeah, and then the Repulsion album cover with the hand-drawn kind of corpsey face. So I kind of Frankenstein those two ideas together.
Yeah.
With my logo, and I sent him a photograph and gave him a loose idea, and he drew digital art over top of the photograph.
Oh, wow.
And did the color scheme like the Repulsion album.
Yeah, and I don't think we've mentioned this yet, but this album is called Rotten.
Yeah.
Jason Rouse, Rotten. And yeah, like half of his face is rotting off, and the other, it's pretty fucking nuts.
I always thought that, like...
And then the back is a big close-up with the fucking...
Yeah, I had
cool.
my grills in. I had gold...
Yeah, you had your grills. Okay, so tell everybody
teeth.
about your grills. Why the fuck did you have grills, or do you? Or you still do?
No, I got rid of them once the Joker movie came out. The Jared Leto.
Oh,
did you see the article on that?
I didn't.
There's an article online about how Jared Leto had taken.
That's Hamilton English.
If you look at the Suicide Squad and look at the Joker and any photograph of me over the last decade,
sure, he's been ripping you off the whole time.
I don't know. Somebody wrote a story on it.
We should start a beef with him right now. Fuck you, Jared Leto.
I'm flattered. So I drifted from that, but it was mainly out of spite. I just felt it was like, I saw a rap video and I think it was a white rapper at Paul Wall or something, and he had a lot of money in his mouth. I like the look of it. I always like things that were black and chrome. I don't know what it is. So that when I saw that video, I kind of jokingly, I said, I'm going to get that. My girlfriend at the time, you get that, I'm out. Well, we broke up, and I had a lot of cash in my pocket, so I went down to Nelly's. My friend Jay Vegas, his uncle worked as a jeweler at Nelly's at Bloor, Young and Dundas, and I went in there, and he introduced me to his uncle, and he specialized in custom jewelry grills. And I told him how I wanted them, and they made them, put them in, and I wore them for like 8 years or something like that.
Wild, yeah.
And then it just got, it got played out, and I kind of walked from it. But
they're definitely...
it was great on stage.
Yeah.
I stopped wearing them in the States a lot because it was just, I got into repeated conversations trying to explain myself, and it was just becoming annoying. And just chicks would, you look better without that shit in your mouth. And I'm like, shut up. Go wash your hole. You're going back in your cage. Yeah. So yeah, the cover is that the cover was made before the album. I had recorded some stuff earlier, but that artwork had been sitting on the shelf for like a few years.
Yeah, that's
and but I had the concept and all the ideas and stuff, but it was in it was totally cart before the horse. Like, the whole thing was a completely backward process.
Yeah, well, at the end that's good because at least you're not scrambling at the end to be putting together like final touches on album art, right?
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it's usually you bring in the music and they build the idea, the visual art around the songs.
Yeah, sure. No,
but I had the picture. I think I play off of a lot of theater of my mind, and I imagine things, and I try and manifest them and bring them to light.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, here we go.
Acid helps. Here's
what I think. We should go track 25, Father, Oh, Fuck My Mouth. 26.
He used to teach at my Catholic school.
26, Here Comes John. And then 27, Daddy's Pussy, The Bit.
All right.
Okay? All right, we're going to do that. We'll be right back.
If I'm outside after the show and you see me, don't hit my face. I got a job interview at a school tomorrow. Guidance counselor at an Irish Catholic school. Father, oh, don't fuck my mouth. Are you sure this is where holy water comes from, Father? Oof, easy on the Guinness. Your load looks like scalloped potatoes. Away in a manger, no grip or a bed. Little Lord Jesus gonna suck my fucking dick, you fucking pig. Oh, you fucking whore now. Oh. All right, now I'm going to put it in your pussy. Roll over and pull those 3 hairs out. I want it really weird. We're going to hell together. Oh. Good luck. You've been married forever, haven't you? Fucking bastard. How do you do it? You look legitimately happy. And how did you two meet in Winnipeg?
Through a common friend.
A common friend. Barnyard swingers. I love it. Oh, here comes John with the same leather mask. We know it's you, John. You got a Care Bears tattoo on your asshole. It's not a Care Bear stare I want. You ever have her bend over and you're drilling her from behind and you look into her asshole and go, you should take better care of that thing. I know you're not looking at it regularly, but it looks like someone put out a cigar in your shit ring. Assholes are like snowflakes. None of them are the same. An asshole will call the cops. I was just talking about your butthole, madam. I used to date a girl. She used to call her asshole daddy's pussy. Yeah, she used to make me wear her dead father's clothes and just fucking smash her fucking mud pocket. It was really weird. I got fired from the hospital for doing it too. Fucking comatose patient. Comatose, yeah. They already had her strapped down, so I didn't do shit. Apparently she was a scratcher. Week and a half earlier, and I was going to shim it in there. And just before I was about to come, she woke up in this kind of death rattle. I don't know, maybe I got magic powers.
Interesting crowd work.
Yeah. I was trying to think, like, because I know where my mind is, and it's very much like a horror movie with just all the scary parts.
Yeah. That there was. We were talking about that old couple. That was you hammering on them again.
Yeah, they're usually very good. Old blue hairs and at the shows, they're never really the ones that complain. It's like young white chicks that had too much to drink.
Yeah. Oh, God.
You know what I mean?
They go home that night and send an email.
Yeah, those are the ones that are causing the biggest problems. I don't know what it is with fucking.
I think it's too much education.
Yeah, over education.
Yeah.
Well, it all happened when we started letting them the vote.
Oh,
and then everything went amok.
Tell me how you really feel.
No, I'm anything.
Stupid suffrage.
Contrary to my onstage persona, I'm very much a fan of the lady. I think women are great.
Oh, fucking
You
right.
live with two of them.
Yeah, I'm outnumbered now, yeah. I made one of them, though.
Yeah, you got to stay. You can go, you know what, I'll cut this one in half if you want to fight about it. We'll do some biblical shit.
Yeah. Do I cut you or your mother?
Now look, Dad's at it again. Get out of the margarita mix, Dad. You can't handle the sugar.
Hopefully my wife doesn't use this podcast against me in court like Alex Jones's wife is doing right now.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah, dude. She's saying he's all unstable and shit. And
yeah, of course he's unstable. Have you seen him? He's upset.
Yeah. Well, and she's like, he does that show from his house. And you want the kids to be hanging out while he's screaming at the top of his lungs about the Illuminati or whatever.
I love it, though, you know.
You got to have Alex Jones.
You got to have Alex Jones. He'll be missed, you know. I'm not even on the political train, but him as a performer and as a personality.
Well, that's what he's trying to say. Him and his lawyers are trying to say.
He's a performance artist.
Yeah. In essence. That's what they're trying to say.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, so would I.
I would totally agree with that. Regardless of how you're invested in some of his politics and his points of view on some things or askew or what have, but he is electrifying.
Yeah, and so was like Jon Stewart. Right? Like that's like if somebody went after Jon Stewart.
No one wants to see
or Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
Stephen Colbert, right? He was playing like he's not like that on the
Alex
Late
Jones
Show.
is living it. He's in deep.
Yeah, oh fuck.
You know what I mean? No wonder his wife's fucking a little fucked off. He's total. He wakes up in night terrors all the time because he thinks they're shapeshifters.
Yeah, I know.
So, you know that's a crazy place to live, and either you're into Alex Jones or you're not.
Yeah, that shit.
He's the slayer of on-air personalities. Yeah. Alex Jones is Angel of Death. Cue the music. Angel of Death!
We've been trying to get to this. You should plug your dates before the computer melts down
You've been
again.
handing out joints like we just had another kid and their cigars. I'm fucking blind on one eye.
No, I haven't. Allegedly.
I got dates.
Yeah.
I'm excited because
you're going international again. This is
I'm
fucking
doing
awesome.
some more shows. I have to go into Europe like every second or third year, and I've been trying to stay in California as much as I can and do that.
After this, I wanted to ask you about New York because you hang out in New York too, right?
Yeah, I'm in New York for at least 2 months of the year. I have a 6-month period where I have to be resident in the United States.
Oh, okay.
So I'm I'm usually in California for 4 months, and then in New York for 2 months.
Sure.
And I usually go to New York like October, November, mid-December. I'll do a little bit of the New York winter's nice, and you haven't been.
Nice.
Well, yeah, man.
And they whine about it a lot.
Yeah,
because it snows, right?
It's
for us. It's nice.
People who have to commute on foot don't want to deal with elements,
right?
And there's a lot of foot traffic in New York, but it gets taken care of. They're pretty on point. I think just the heat of the concrete in the city, a lot of this shit melts.
Sure.
But they get dumps. It's no different than what you've been dealing with here.
Sure, yeah.
But it's in a giant train set of this concrete.
10 million people,
buddy.
Fucking nuts.
I got a migraine headache walking through Times Square because my the lights in the city was like overwhelming. It was like it's insane.
And the exhaust.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I blow my nose and hockey pucks would shoot out of my mouth. It's really dirty, but you're living in a place where there's such a concentration of people. It's you're bumping in, you're touching, and I like that element of it. You go on a public transit, and it's the whole spectrum. You've got everything from any points of view or race or everything. It's so mixed, and everyone's forced to be together and work and make it work.
Yeah.
Opposed to there's not a lot of teams. But yeah, I was in Greenwich Village. I lucked out. I got a really nice apartment in Greenwich for like a few months, and doing all the spots around town and shaking hands, kissing babies and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and I hear that just by listening to my favorite comedians' podcasts. I always listen to yours. Obviously, safe word, you're listening to it right now. But also like the Bill Burr one and Stanhope and fucking Rogan. And I just started downloading the Bert Kreischer one. I haven't listened to it yet, but that guy's fucking funny.
Yeah, Bert's coming to Calgary.
Yeah, totally.
We met in New York, actually, at the Cellar, I think, for the first time. We have a lot of similar friends in common and things, and
cool.
Bert's generally just a fun guy.
But what I always see these guys saying is that in New York, like even Nick DiPaolo, I'm a huge Nick DiPaolo fan, and Attell, of course.
Yeah.
And it seems like you can get up there like 6 times a night, which is not like you can't do that in LA so much.
You could probably do 20 shows a week in New York.
Yeah.
When in LA, it's just a different thing, It's Toronto, Vancouver, Los Angeles, New York. It's just density, London, England, there's like 100 venues. New York's got 100 venues, LA's got a handful of very prestigious places to perform in, the Comedy Store, the Laugh Factory, and the Improv. Yeah. And outside of that, it kind of dipped, the Ice House and a few other places I might play. But there's a huge gap. And I think because there's not a lot of middle-class people in Hollywood.
Right.
So there's not like a comedy circuit to say. It's all pedestals for people to peacock on.
Sure.
And then after that, it's a gutter. Like the open mics are terrible. There's very few rooms that...
Because nobody wants to travel into town from an hour out of LA to fucking see an open mic, right? Like it seems like, right?
And everybody's in the industry, and everybody's entitled. So you got a shitty bar where the TVs are on, and there's comics are talking in the back. They got to draw names to
Us
get
metal
on.
guys know nothing about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the
fucking video lottery machines.
Yeah. You just play through that,
you, buddy.
Yeah. No,
you guys are too loud. Yeah. Well, you're too something.
They're, sound is sensitive to comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems like it's a fucking issue at a lot of these places.
Yeah,
I listen to the Kill Tony podcast. I love it. Tony Hinchcliffe, Death Squad. Look it up. It's amazing. And like their sound is so. It's like because I've never been in the belly room. I was in, or the belly room's upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a cool room. It's like Fight Club up there.
Yeah, I bet.
It's a dirty little, not dirty room, but it's a black box.
Yeah.
And in the summer, it's like hot as fuck in there, and a lot of crazy shit's been going down. I remember seeing Chappelle up there with a 3-piece like jazz band or something doing
What?
comedy
Oh, yeah,
for
he
like
does
5
that.
hours.
Wild.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, just sitting there on a stool, go up and fucking. I had some friends in town from Sweden, and my buddy Ahmed there, he's like, I'm here watching Chappelle.
Fuck.
I go, are you cool? He goes, dude, I'm more than cool.
Yeah.
He goes, I paid for this ticket happily.
And how much was it?
I don't know, it was like $10.
Right.
Because it was like a surprise thing.
Yeah.
So you,
Well, they're trying shit out, right?
Yeah.
They're seeing what's sticking and all this stuff, right?
you get to see the Masters work out.
That's
That
hilarious,
place is a
man.
hub for, it has the best lineups in the world as far as comedy goes.
Yeah, it's like we were talking about earlier. Like the fucking Comedy Store is really on fire right now.
Yeah, and
Fucked
it's
up.
cool. There's been crazy shit. Like we were saying, Elon Musk was there, and various rock stars and actors, and it's getting a bit of a Hollywood buzz. It's becoming a cool place, and that was absent for the longest time. Comedy was going through its version of glam rock over the
Right.
last 10 years with this hipster thing.
Sure.
This nerdy guys that don't get fucked, and then like hot chicks that swing big dicks on stage. You know what I mean? Like, Sarah Silverman,
Yeah.
assassin.
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
you'll
yeah.
get like more of a names, but like a nerd comic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. So, and I always loved big performers.
Yeah, for sure.
Epic spectacle or not, something that you talk about on the way home.
Yeah, like Bill Cosby.
Yeah. You wouldn't talk about that when you woke up with a condom in your asshole and a shitty sweater on the end of your bed.
Yeah. Where did I get this? Oh my God, really?
How many pudding pops did I eat last night?
How many sweaters does this fucking guy have?
Bill Cosby is a This is another thing too. All these nerdy guys, these are the deviants. These are the new sexual predators. I'm not the problem. I'm the fucking answer.
Yeah.
I might look like a school shooter, but I'll never rape you.
Right.
I'll shoot you, then I'll fuck you. Anyway, let's not get into my personal life.
Yeah.
There's a
That's why you're such a vagrant in between towns. Or not vagrant, but
the tour's been crazy, by the way. The cops,
like renegade. When you come through town, what do they call those people? Fucking
assholes. I'm an asshole from out of town. Look at this. I come into town and I verbally abuse the locals.
Yeah.
Fuck the handicapped dishwasher at the hotel. And I leave. That's an asshole.
Yeah. It kind of wrecks my life when you come around too.
Yeah, I know.
Just a little bit. It's not too
at
bad.
least you're in,
it's manageable.
You're in show business, so there's at least you don't have to explain to some of my friends at work as an accountants.
Yeah, right.
And they call their wife a cunt for no reason because they think it's funny because they heard Jason do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different. It's a different thing, I live out on the fringes of society, and you accumulate a very different kind of lifestyle.
Yeah. I mean, especially you do it full time. You don't go back to fucking dishwasher when you're at home or whatever.
No, I haven't.
Or what you were. I read or heard something on a podcast. That you were a framer, like when you were 20 or something.
Yeah, I worked in various, construction stuff. I worked as a circular staircase builder.
Oh, wow.
And the
Crazy.
guy that I worked for was a rapist.
Dude, I heard this story, and he got nailed for being like a serial rapist.
Yes,
right?
he was a Stony Creek
And he was
rapist.
killing them, right?
I don't think
No?
he killed them. He
Oh.
he had 2 young daughters. I had met his daughters and his wife a handful of times, and he was kind of a John Goodman type guy.
Oh no.
And very unassuming. But what he was doing, he'd go in and do appraisals and then wedge the windows and go back and rape them.
Dude, that is so fucked.
Yeah, he'd rig the door jambs and stuff on these homes and come back and assault them.
That's fucking crazy.
That's fucking The worst.
Good old Hamilton, Ontario.
Fuck. He's from Stony Creek. Fuck that guy.
Stupid,
Hamilton's got
shitty
worse.
Stony
Somebody
Creek.
sent me a news article of a news story in the Hamilton Spectator. Was like 8 a.m. sledgehammer fight in downtown Hamilton.
Sledgehammer fighting the hammer.
Yeah, who gets in a sledgehammer? It's very top heavy, right?
Yeah.
You really, and if you're, I guess if you're
And
on
then
meth,
the other guy brings another one.
yeah. Well, that's the
Like,
thing.
what the fuck?
They're two methed out psychos who show up not with guns or knives, sledgehammers, matching dueling sledgehammers.
All right, let's listen to some more of this. Hold on, let me look at it. Where are we at here? Yeah,
It's all coming back now.
yeah, totally. Oh, here we go. We should do coolest girl at the party,
Ah, okay.
Milady, and cigarettes and battleships.
Ah, I don't even remember what cigarettes and battleships are.
I do.
All right. This
We'll
will
be
fun.
right back.
All right.
How many girls actually, by a show of hands, have actually had cum in their anuses?
Come on.
Yeah, she put up her hand. You've had semen in your butthole. That's the cool chick at the party tonight, all right? Come in my ass. I call it morning coffee. Was it your cum, sir?
No, it was not.
No, it was not. Again, the coolest girl in the room. Bonjour. Come asshole. I used to date a girl that preferred her in the ass. I hated when she'd get on top because her balls used to bang against mine. It was terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. Ugh. You smell like Old Spice. Madam. My lady. So let's get back to your asshole. What was it the first time like for you? Look at me. I want you to go back there and look at me at the same time. How old were you when Johnny Rocket fucked the old dirt star? Was it I don't have a condom kind of thing, or you were having one of your heavy days? Why is that the go-to when a girl's bleeding? Like, fuck me in the ass, my cunt's a little red. It's like, I'll take the blood over your shit ring any day. At least if I got blood on my face, I'll look cool. If I got shit on my face, I'm short on my rent. So you got fucked in the asshole. That's kind of fun, huh? Was it? Look at me. So, how old were you? You were kidding? Oh, now you're the good person. That girl has cum in her asshole now. And that is yeah. Blood-soaked condom hanging out of her shit ring. Okay, there's no condom, just shit and blood. Are you happy? You've changed, Calgary. You've changed. Don't touch me. Well, good luck with your asshole. You think cigarettes give you bad breath? Try pop a cock. I think get a lot more teenagers to stop smoking. Do they change those cigarette warnings from those cancerous lungs just with a kid with a dick in his hand crying? That doesn't go away with mouthwash. Ugh. Fuck, there better be a filter on these. Tattoos are fun, though, aren't they? I asked that question last night. A lady said she had a tattoo of a battleship on her tits. So why that? She said that's where all the seamen go. What do you say? The only thing I could say was... And then we kissed. We kissed.
Ah, yes, some more crowd play.
Crowd play. That's one way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy shit. So
Yeah.
you're pretty fucking hardcore comedian is the point.
Yeah, I'm the worst.
Yeah.
I'm the worst comedian in the world.
It's amazing. It's like you have turned into some kind of like superhero villain where you were all nice at the beginning and then they gave you this award and fucked your whole life up.
Breaking Bad. I did a whole Breaking Bad. You know, I started off in the beginning. It was very Jim Carrey influence for, you know, that was kind of my role model in the beginning when I'd seen In Living Color and Jim's film career and his background in stand-up. And not only that, but grew up less than an hour from where I was.
Oh, wow.
So I adopted a lot of his mannerisms and his kind of presentation, and I had some of that already in place, but his just go.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we can always
yeah.
come back from that.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
The big
yeah, go.
outside.
Let's take this as far as we can, and we can come back from that.
Yeah.
So add excessive graphic filth and violence, and there you go. Ta-da!
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
it does. You know, it does change. You listen to early CK, and
No, yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
there's it's a transformation that takes place, and you know, and it will keep changing ideally,
Yeah.
or you
And-
become stagnant and so
Yeah.
on. I think
But-
I'll always be dressed in black.
Right.
I think
sure.
that'll be always the consistent.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's funny, like when all that stuff, and this is probably part of we were just talking about the Comedy Store and all that, like that, all that stuff that happened with Mencia and Rogan, where he called him out for ripping off jokes and all this stuff, and then, like, it was funny, like, Rogan had a couple kids around that time, and I really loved his stand-up, and then there was, like, a special or two after that where I was like, what the fuck happened, man? And then he came back after that, and it was like, holy shit, you know. So it's the life events. It's weird how the life events. It makes me wonder. Like Bill Burr just had a kid.
Yeah.
Like, is that going to happen to him? You know,
Yeah, you know,
where you just fall further and further into.
Yeah, well,
you're never having kids, right?
No, well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. I know that
You're gonna do
the
this
gaper
forever.
boomer. He calls them dream killers, children. He calls them dream killers. So, you know, I don't have anyone who loves me. So, because of that, I'm allowed to go farther than anybody.
Well, yeah, that's like you can consistently tour the world, like consistently go. So, with that, give me your goddamn dates. We need to get the dates off.
Dates.
For sure.
Everyone's been on the edge of their seat. Moncton, New Brunswick, all the exotic. Okay, so we did started off the tour in Los Angeles, Vancouver, then Abbotsford.
Oh yeah.
Abbotsford was insane.
Yeah.
I walked off stage twice. A crazy fan showed up at my hotel room banging on my door.
Whoa.
And the police came.
Whoa.
She took a swing and hit the lady behind the counter.
What the fuck?
And then my fellow comedian friend, because I didn't go out the door, he came out of his room to see what was going on because he was next door, and then see that this drunk girl's outside my room, and he's trying to help her. I'm like, fuck this fucking pig. I didn't even move. I've dealt with crazy so much. I know when to get upset and when not to. So I just laid there and wait for her hand to get tired. And then, so she farted on the sidewalk when they were handcuffing her. Right in front of my friend. He said she took a deep breath in handcuffs and went, ear.
Levitator.
Yeah, just, ear. Isn't that great?
That
She
is
just
great.
deflated
Wow. Well,
physically and mentally. So
you came from Calgary via Abbotsford, right?
via Abbotsford, I had 4 or 5 days off in Vancouver, which is nice. I like to kind of just walk around the city and
Yeah, it's a
hang out and stuff. And
great place to visit.
yeah, you don't like it, huh?
No,
it's
whatever.
different. It's different.
Doesn't matter what I like.
Yeah. The Calgary this weekend, and then this coming up weekend, I am in Halifax,
Oh yeah, you're going out east.
and then St. John, New Brunswick. There might be something in Moncton. We'll see if we can put something together. And then I will be I'll be back in Toronto for a week at the end of May. Then July,
Yeah.
and then late August, things start to pick up.
Oh, yeah.
So I will start my European leg of my Kill to Live tour. I'm doing Sudbury on May 20th, but the big show, Bremen Theater in Copenhagen, September 4th. Host in Aarhus, Denmark. Then the Stockholm Comedy Club in Stockholm, Sweden, September 9th. Gasta Comedy Club in Gavla, September 30th. And then I think there's going to be some Poland and Germany and maybe Holland. And maybe a couple other countries will be added around those European dates. And then around October, I start off October 4th, Toronto, and then like Ajax following that, London, Vaughan, Mississauga.
Oh, cool.
And then I think over to New York early November. Yeah.
So we were talking about, we touched on New York a bit. Oh, go to jasonrouse.com and you can probably find all those dates.
Yeah, all the dates are there.
Yeah. But, so did you like New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
It reminded me of London.
London, England. Yeah.
I loved London, England, because you could commute. I don't drive. A lot of people know this about me. I'm 45 years old, and I've never driven a car in my life. And
wild.
I like the ability to be able to get around a large city and public transit. You know, and Uber's not bad at all, especially in LA. It's been very helpful for me. Very inexpensive, cheap way to get away around.
Did it work out in Calgary the other night?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Cool.
Uber's fine.
Yeah, it's back. Good.
And the guy was a numbnut. All he had to do was drive straight down the road and drop me off on the right. He ended up coming up around the building, around the back, went in a dead end. And I just had to put my head down. I'm going to fucking strangle this guy with a seatbelt. I'm like, fuck, buddy. The map's pointing you right to the spot. Why would you zig around a candy cane up all around these fucking dead-end streets? We're at dead end again. We turn around. Fucking hell. Anyway, Uber doesn't work for everywhere. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah. Well, they outlawed it here, and then they just allowed it back, which is weird.
Yeah, that is weird. The cab drivers are so fucking shit. That Uber driver wasn't really a good example, but if he would have stuck to the program, we wouldn't have had that fucking problem.
Yeah.
You can see where you're going. You know how many taxis I get in major cities and they don't know conveniently where they're going?
Right. Oh, dude, it happens. If you're like passing out in the back of the cab, they'll take you 12 blocks out of your way.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Like
and just rack up the meters. So this shows you exactly how long it took you, what the drive line was, and it's attached to your card, so it's immediate.
Yeah.
You do that, there's no exchange of money in hand, and
yeah,
you know that you can get to where you're going. Mm-hmm. I think it works really good for hookers. Yeah, I think that's a big thing with prostitution's gone up because they can Uber the whore to their house and home.
Holy shit!
Right?
Never even thought of that.
Yeah. Well, I have. Read a book. Yeah. That was the thing in Hollywood.
Life hacks. This is a segment on the podcast.
You
fucking life hacks.
Pussy like pizza now, right to your door. 30 minutes or it's free, and it's always hot and full of incurable diseases.
Actually, this has turned into an impromptu segment on the podcast. Do you know any scams that you want to tell everybody? I don't know why it's happened. But.
My life is such a scam. What do you mean, like a scam?
Well, just maybe it could be a story of something that happened maybe, way long after you could be charged for it, or something ongoing, like somebody had you just call and then anyways, I can't remember, but
I have friends that are very clever scammers. They just manipulate the system a little bit,
sure,
in their favor. I'd rather be.
You play it pretty straight.
I pay out, be done with it.
Yeah.
I don't want to occupy my.
Nobody can touch you
with a strategy of trying to trick whatever it is. So, all my bullshit is on stage.
Right. Sure.
Off stage, I'm very serious asshole.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be out. People could be jumping out of the windows on a trampoline, so I'll be sitting in the corner with a cigarette hanging in my mouth, and everyone's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "This is it.
This is the best.
This is the best." Malachi. And then I put a blood cross on my forehead and just start biting people's faces. Ah!
So I don't know. I think this is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
What should people look? What do you want people to look up like on YouTube about you? Like the blue set's pretty rad, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch
You
of
should
stuff.
check out,
Some
like,
of it's
just check out Jason Rouse
a little
online.
redundant.
There's
Yeah,
super old stuff on there.
Yeah, there's a bunch. I try and I'm going to be posting some stuff. I found a box of old VHS tapes that we had made home movies of in the 80s, like 88, 89. Whoa. So I've got like super long hair and all this crazy shit. I've been eating pumpkin seeds out of it.
Yeah, you're an asshole.
Over the mic.
That's what makes you prove what you're saying about being an asshole.
See, at least I'm
You're eating pumpkin
honest.
seeds on your own podcast.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I have no respect for myself or anybody around me. I just need to have that airplane dump in the morning on the plane. You ever hear pumpkin seed farts? Holy fuck!
You're loading up for something.
Yeah. I take the mud cannon on the plane, and I pull my pants down. Okay, say this is the window side.
Your right side.
I slide my asshole over to the edge of the seam of the chair against the window side. You're talking about scams? Here we go. So, and then I'll pull my pants down, underwear and all, and I'll hang my asshole out over the back of the seat and pretend I'm sleeping, and just slowly unload.
The long drawl.
It sounds like an old man taking an exhale. Garlic. I'm gonna. And then I actually heard a guy 6 rows down go, "Come on!" Everyone was sleeping. Everyone was sleeping on the plane. I carpet bombed the whole plane.
He's just hitting him like a fog machine.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck?
And the worst part is he went, "Oh, come on!" He woke up and he must have been yawning with his sleeping with his mouth on. Kibbles and bits. Come on! Yeah, it was bad.
Why?
I got up to take a shit, and the baby was banging on the window to get off the plane. My diaper's 2 dumps deep, and it doesn't smell like pumpkin ass up the front there. Yeah, I'll unload on the plane.
Well, fuck. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Man, it's a pleasure.
Thanks for being on Jason Rouse's Safeway.
Yeah, and thanks for getting hard in Nate's backyard.
Well, now let's talk a little bit about you.
Oh, really?
I met you... remember that fateful night at Stetson?
Oh, shit. Yeah, we're going to get into this fucking
So
night.
is it We Found the Body?
We Found
There's
the Body.
There's like 6 or
Good
7
bros.
bands.
Yeah. No, actually, that night it was just the 3.
The 3.
It was We Found the Body open. You did like 50, 45 or 50.
It was a shit show.
And then we did 45, my old band Kill Ya Guy.
And then we went to some recording space afterwards.
Yeah, but in between there, I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast. It's fucking pretty crazy. So Rouse goes up and destroys. It was fucking hilarious. I mean, holy fuck. And
this is at a rowdy metal bar.
Yeah, the
Calgary.
Stetson. Yeah, it's down south in Calgary, and they don't really do shows there anymore, but they used to for a while. And it was slammed. I remember it being like pretty packed. Like,
yeah, it was packed.
It was like 90% sold out or something, like if it wasn't sold out. And fucking, so Rouse goes up, destroys the whole entire world, and then my band is setting up that is not holy fuck crazy comedy. And we're setting up, and my drummer like puts his kick drum down, and you know where it's gonna go, and we start setting up, and as we're setting up, this fucking bottle comes flying from out of the crowd out of nowhere that we can't see, and like bounces off my drummer's fucking kick drum. And it was so weird, man. Like, it was like...
This is
like
before the show started, you guys...
Yeah, we're just setting up. And then fucking... So, the air just got weird. Everybody was like, what in the fuck was that?
There was tension.
Yeah, definitely. Through the roof. And fucking, so my singer at the time, still a good friend, Wes, he's like, give me the fucking mic, give me this mic, turn off this mic right now. And like, even while we're setting up, he's like, who fucking threw that bottle? He's just like, fuck you, man, you don't throw bottles
It was
at
a
performers.
standoff.
Yeah, and all this shit. And then we set up and we played this song, and then he goes, yeah, I hate to keep bringing this back up, but if you guys could sodomize that piece of shit that threw that fucking bottle at us, that'd be great. And then Buddy walked right up to the front of the stage and looked at my singer and went, it was me. I thought you'd think it was funny. And then like put his cheek out, like punch my face off. And, you know, at the time, anyways, doesn't matter. We don't need to get into a bunch of stuff, but it was like, quit killing everybody, Wes. So then, and then he looks at me, and I throw my hands up in the air, like fucking hit him, you know, like fuck this guy. He's throwing bottles at performers. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, I hate when people do that shit.
But like you've stepped over a line big time, you know, and so then my drummer. Ryan Boyko hilariously just counted the song in like before anything could happen. And then actually what happened was a good friend of ours, we'll just call him Mark. He was like, that's the fucking guy. And then my drummer goes 1, 2, 3, 4. And they jumped in the pit and just started overhand smashing this dude. Like I was standing there like we're playing and I'm like, there's these girls. I'll never
a
forget.
full-blown fist fight.
Oh, like overhand bombs and all of that. And like, anyways, other people were
dragged
getting involved.
outside, kicked, fucked out the door. Yeah, beat on him.
It was terrible. It ended up bad for that guy, but whatever. Don't throw fucking bottles at people. But so I'm like standing there and these girls are like, I'm on stage and there's these girls that are right up front, but they have their back to me because they're watching this and they have this like horrified look. They're just like, oh my God, every hit. It's like, oh, yeah. And then I'm sitting there for a second. I was like, fuck, should I just stop this whole show right now? And then I saw one go like smash and I was like, fuck this guy, man. Don't throw fucking bottles at performers. I mean, come on, man. It's that easy.
We could have blinded him.
Oh, yeah, in the wrong spot. I mean, right? You could kill somebody.
Blind him.
But yeah, that was the first time we met.
Yeah.
And then, we did end up I was working at Slaughterhouse Studios. Go check them out if you're local. You want to rehearse and record and stuff. But we ended up back there for the after party. And, that was a great time. Crazy place, the Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, I found some pictures on my Facebook from back then. It was had on this day button or whatever, and all these shows. And I'm like, fuck, that was 8 years ago. Yeah,
so 08. I think that was 08. Could have been somewhere in between 06 and 08.
Yeah,
could have been 06 for sure.
Yeah, it was great. I think that was one of the few rock comedy shows I've done in Canada that worked. And then you brought in the metal festival. Yeah. And it worked perfectly.
Yeah, that was a good time.
What were some of the bands on that lineup? Because I remember the poster. There looked like there was probably 200 bands.
Oh, well, no, that was the biggest one we ever did as far as bands went, and it was 80, I think it was 84.
84 bands. How many venues? 3
different venues. But some of them going on simultaneously and stuff. It was intense. Yeah, and I scored a couple touring packages happened to be coming through. Like there was Skeleton Witch, which was awesome.
They were outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
I was impressed.
And that's so amazing as a concert promoter when you can have a band on tour like that because they're fucking locked in.
Yeah.
Like you could spend all this money flying a band out and they've only jammed twice and it's like, fuck. You know?
Yeah.
But to get a band on
top
tour.
Form.
Yeah, and for a deal.
Yeah.
Because it's cool, right? And there was them, but then there was like Scale the Summit and got the Scale the Summit tour with a bunch of prog bands that we did at Broken City. That was awesome. You know, it's like, why go up against them, right? If we can include them now.
Of course. And it works good. You know, it's good for them on an off night to make some money.
Sure.
And do a show that's probably going to be a lot more explosive and exciting because of it's a smaller venue on a weekday. So the serious people are there.
Yeah. I mean, like this was even on, like, I think we had that Scale the Summit and
On the
not
Saturday?
Architects. It's Fall of the Architects. I'm trying to remember what the headliner's name was. It's escaping me at the moment. But it was a Friday, and it's still, like, because there was competition, because there was Metalfest happening on Friday at Dickens, too. So it was kind of like people had to choose, do I want this kind of metal or do I want this kind of metal? And after that, we started
Isn't
trying
it nice, though, that at least there's a choice?
Well,
Opposed to,
for
like,
sure.
we got a rock, I don't know, it's rock show,
Yeah.
you know.
So it was cool, but we tried to get away from that in the future editions of Metalfest just because...
The market's pretty small as it is.
Exactly. And
There's a lot of...
There's a cap on, like, we have a small population. We only have 1 million in Calgary, and, you know, whatever, like, not 10%. It's more like, well, maybe 10% is all the people in Calgary that even would listen to anything heavier than
Very
Nickelback.
niche. Very niche, yeah.
Anything heavier than Nickelback, you know, like, so... we're like 1%, so you know, like
Yeah, it's a
that-
very
what was that?
unwanted, a neglected
1,000
market.
people? Yeah, that's
Yet they sell the genre sells like makes billions of dollars every year.
yeah, sure. But they get to go up and down the eastern seaboard and the western seaboard and fucking where all those people are, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's so shit. That's the only thing that's shitty about Canada. I mean, it's probably why it's
No
awesome
people?
too. Yeah, there's just not enough people.
no,
There's
no,
just-
that's what I mean. Like for the whole entertainment industry, it's just lack of population. People
Yeah.
need to fuck more, but we won't see it. We'll be dead.
Yeah.
Time. But at the same time, maybe people might make fun of us from the grave.
You for sure until
Oh,
you
there's gonna
die.
be a
That's
lineup.
that's when we'll sell those CDs, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do it already.
You at my funeral with a trench
The
coat,
closed
CDs. You got a merch table set up on my casket. We got Jason Rouse T-shirts, CDs from 2004. You get them while they're not hot. They've never been hot.
Oh
Yeah, it'd
my
be funny.
God.
You just kind of pull up and then put a bunch of T-shirts over my casket and CDs. Hilarious.
Yeah, that is really funny. I feel like I have to do that now.
Yeah, I was thinking about faking
Can you sign
my
this
own,
piece of paper that says that's okay?
I was going to fake my own death,
Oh, that's a good idea.
but the internet's they'd find me.
You'd have to fly somewhere that nobody could have the internet at. Like,
Plus, my mother
yeah.
she'd cry. She'd
Oh,
cry
just
for
tell your
sure.
mom you're gonna do it.
No. I'm dead. How can I tell her?
Yeah, I guess. If you're gonna, yeah, you got to commit, right?
Yeah, you do totally got to commit. Well, look at Bob Azuda. Shows up as Tony Clifton at the Comedy Store sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, still does. He does shows too.
Wasn't that?
Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
Andy Kaufman and him would do Tony Clifton. So when George Shapiro was managing Andy, Bob Azuda was Andy's writing partner. So they started to do Tony Clifton, but wanted to make it so that if any either of them happened, that they could keep doing the character. So
Right.
Andy would come in and make up, and then Tony would come in and make up, and he'd try and figure out who was who. And then when they got it right, that's what they stuck with. So to this day, it's all on point. And he shows up
Wow.
with hookers. He flicks cigarettes at people in the audience. Oh yeah, I was like sitting there. He flicked a butt right on some guy's fucking shirt. Guys, what the fuck? All right, you fuck it. Yeah. I was like, yeah. He's got these beat up hookers under his arms.
Wild.
And Bob, I've talked to him at the Improv. Nicest guy. Comic relief. You know.
Okay.
Robin Williams, Whoopi Goldberg. You know.
Yeah. Well,
Legend.
that was my kind of first. Like, I was like 5 years old when that came out.
Yeah.
And it was everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, and all those big names and they were fucking hilarious. Like, anyways, I don't know. It probably looks like shit if you watch it now, but
Sure, at the time it
Oh,
was,
man, I was like
everybody
5.
knew
I was
comic
like, this is
relief.
hilarious.
Robin Williams, you know,
yeah.
he sat beside me at the Improv one night.
Wild.
And I didn't even know how do you address it. I said hello, nice to see you. He was very cordial, and but I didn't want to press it.
That's a thing. I mean, I bet it's interesting you say that because
Okay, I gotta not kill myself. Kinda.
yeah, but just do it. This cigarettes.
You've been trying to talk me into this thing. We need to
gotta
move
go
some
out.
product.
Dude, look at the Nirvana sales.
I know. They went up a bit, didn't they? Why is there a shotgun in the booth here with me? But it's painted like a pogo stick. Boom! Ow! My jaw flew off. You ever see those guys that try to commit suicide and they botch it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
One guy, he's missing.
Can we not?
Blew his jaw off.
Yeah.
What did I show you that was terrible?
Oh fuck! Everything you fucking show me is the worst of all time.
It's really bad, huh?
Dude, the gaper, the last one there. Fuck.
Yeah,
I
that
was
one's
like,
bad.
Fuck.
Yeah, pinworms.
Dude, that's so.
He's got a bait shop in his asshole. It's really bad.
No, but what I was just trying to get to was, like, I kind of do. There's been certain times where I'm like, holy fuck, this person's like famous. Like, and it's not, but let's just say like Dave Lombardo.
Yeah.
Like, and I really try not to fanboy. Like, actually, at your show, I might have fanboyed a bit with Darren Rose.
Oh yeah, Darren.
Yeah, like
Good buddy of mine.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And like it was so funny because Nancy and I, this is a local thing, but everybody thinks Nancy and I are husband and wife.
Yes.
Right? But I have a wife and she has a husband and anyways.
And I'm
Doesn't
married
matter.
to all four of you.
yeah, we have this happy little commune
Yeah.
happening.
Malachi.
So he tried to call us out, you two together, like on stage. He goes,
Sorry?
on stage, Darren Rose was like, hey, like, so you, happy couple, right? How long? And I'm like, we're not together, dude.
Uh-huh.
And I just, so anyways, we ended up sharing an Uber. And I was kind of fanboying because he's on what's the game show in Canada?
Match game. Yeah.
He's the host of Match Game. So that's where I was fanboying with him in LA in an Uber. I was like, dude, you're on fucking Match Game. This is crazy, man. Like, you're like fucking Alex Trebek. This is fucking nuts. You know?
It's a very
and he was like, you're too big. Stay away from me. Don't hurt me like Bobby Lee
he's
was.
tall. He's a tall guy
Yeah,
himself.
I know, but I was drunk and excited.
Yeah.
And he was like, stay away from me. So that was my point with all this is, besides Darren Rose, sorry, buddy. I try to like stay, like you just said, what are you going to say to Robin Williams? What are you going to be like, oh man, I fucking love all your comedy. It's fucking amazing. Like
he's been dealing with that
like,
for
shut
40
the
years.
fuck
Yeah.
up. Like he wouldn't want to hear that, right?
I just love the fact that I had some sort of interaction with, comedy royalty.
Sure.
And just kind of leave it as is. If they want to, when I speak they, it's usually people that are like super famous and shit. If they want to initiate a conversation, then they're more open. You don't know what's going on in people's heads.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and then and I don't want to have my feelings hurt by somebody I look up to.
Right.
I saw Dave Mustaine over by a tour bus, but there was a huge gap in the parking lot, and I knew as I was walking towards, he knows that I'm coming to see him.
Yeah.
The guy had a leather jacket and a metal he's walking over, right? So, and I looked, and I couldn't do it because the idea of making it halfway across and him going, fuck you.
Yeah, waving you
I
off.
would have put my head down like Pigpen and just walked off into the water and drowned myself. But, guys like Lemmy and Ronnie James Dio and, dozens of other guys have really, had a place in my life from artist perspective, and then meeting them and then becoming more fans of them.
Sure.
And not only them, what
like
they
as
do.
people.
Yeah, as people.
Because you're like, this guy wasn't a total dick to me the whole time.
Totally. And I couldn't tell you how nice Ronnie James Dio was.
Oh, yeah. Wild,
the
man.
3 times I spent hours with him while he smoked hash joints and drank red
Fuck,
wine.
really?
Yeah, in Finland.
Oh, man. Oh, you can't make that shit up.
No, it was insane. And I brought 2 Finnish comedians, and they were like, this is insane. Like, this kind of stuff. It's fun.
They're fucking...
It's fun.
He's the biggest of the legends of all time in a lot of circles.
I brought All Hail the Yeti
Yeah.
to Russell Peters' 4th of July party.
Whoa.
So it was like all like, John Favreau's DJing and all these rappers and celebrities. It's weird. And then I got all my tattooed friends from fucking Canada, the bands there. It was just such a weird dynamic, but it was cool.
Yeah.
It's fun to have that stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you're not telling that all hail the Yeti story because I'm sure it's probably insane. But
we were kind of asked to leave.
I don't know. You were kind of asked to leave. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, we were starting to kick it up. And they got pissed because it was 4th of July and there were so many Canadians there. We all sang "Oh Canada" over the 4th of July firecrackers, and we were on this big marble balcony, yes. And they were so pissed. And then they remember Russell Peters is Canadian. You could be, keep that to themselves. Yeah. And then enjoy your steak and lobster, you fucking scumbags.
Yeah. Ever heard of Titanic? That was a Canadian.
They buried some of them in Halifax. There's a Titanic part of the graveyard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But
they were murdered by the locals when they swam on the beach. They thought they were dolphins. They panicked, killed the last remaining survivors with sledgehammers.
Like we were talking about, and it's not to fucking, I mean, obviously you've been in the business 20 years, whatever, I'm like behind you. But like kind of my point, the reason I brought it up, because it, like with what you said with the Robin Williams thing isn't it interesting? Like, I mean, you were talking about this chick in Abbotsford that's farting on the sidewalk and getting arrested by the cops because she's such a psycho and all this shit, right? And then, you know, it's like...
I don't know why I smiled when you said that. I don't like that. It stresses me out, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like I've even had it where like people come up to me right after I walk off stage and they're like, dude, it's like, dude, can you stop yelling in my face? Like I just had cymbals in my right ear. Like, you know... Like, I just had a full bore experience. Like, just give me 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, and maybe enjoy what I just did for a minute.
It's just, like, it's nobody's fault. They're just doing it because they're pumped, you know, that they like the art and stuff. But it's like, whoa. So, like, that's my point is when I meet people, I try to just be like, hey, man, yeah, like, nice to meet you.
Start off
treat them
at
like
a
normal
neutral
people.
Place, yeah. Some people, like, I had a guy come up to me at the end of the show. I don't know if he was nervous. He was on a date and with his girlfriend, and they had come up to me at the end of the show, and he was like taking little jabs at me, but trying to puff himself up. I
was like that gay guy in LA, man. He kept like hugging me, and that was a little jab, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like you're trying to provoke me.
Yeah.
You know I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you're trying to provoke me.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. It's like a self-sabotage because the it's going to end in violence or...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You push me into a position... Yeah, or, you know...
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I was like, let's just get the Uber now. That's the third time he's been warned. Like, they have to let me back into America. I have 2 passports. But...
Yeah, no,
I still don't want to be in LA jail for fucking some loser, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not worth it.
Fucking scumbags.
Like, I miss all my flights and fucking... It's going to cost me at least $100.
And first of all, who wants to spend the time?
Yeah.
It's exhausting. Financially and...
Like, but that's the sad part, is when they keep going.
There's a lot of idiots out there.
You're like, man, this is terrible for you.
He was just going. But I could see the holes in what he was doing.
No, but I'm saying any of these people like this, it's like it's sad that you resort to this. To fucking that's how you interact with people when we're all trying to have a good time. You're gonna be like that. You know, and that weirds me out.
It's like weak character trait.
I just feel sorry for them, and like that's where I'm like, no. You're not roping me into a fucking assault charge, asshole.
I was very much like that in my youth. Where I was completely aggravating to like,
and now that's coming back on me. Thanks. I'm never going to a party with you again. I
was on a date in getting out of a car in Sunset, and this homeless guy started walking towards us, but he saw the girl I was on the date with. Like, she was very approachable. Young lady.
Yeah. And
the homeless guy looked at me. I looked at him and just put my head down, and then he just looked at me, and then he walked away.
Oh, fuck. I mean, while we're telling all these stories, I think you have my lighter. Sorry. Do you? Oh, there it is. We should tell the one that happened at Metalfest too, but we should try to leave all the names out of it.
What happened?
Well, remember when you invited me? This is the first time I went to a party with you. It was at Calgary Metalfest too.
At Adam's house?
At your buddy Adam's house.
And you called
who had the top floor penthouse of the building across the street from Dickens.
Yeah. My buddy from Hamilton.
My buddy from Hamilton has the top floor. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, so I grab a couple of friends and
yeah, we had a nice party up there. It was a fun night.
It was a fun night.
Yeah.
So we're up there. I'm like, wow, this guy's got a golden tea machine and all this fucking crazy shit. He's one of these like oil baller motherfuckers. I don't know what the fuck he did, but
I'm seeing him next weekend in Edmonton. He's working out in Edmonton for a bit.
Yeah. So this girl, like I was hanging out with you and I was pretending I was a comedian or something. I don't know what the fuck I was doing.
See, this is the problem.
So I'm ribbing people. I'm
it's loose.
Jabbing
it's a loose
my
night.
friends and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was talking with this girl at the party, and she goes, "Well, my boyfriend's name is Bleep from Bleepy Bleep," and I made the joke like, "Oh, Bleepy Bleep has been down in LA for like ever and on tour. Like, you really think that's your boyfriend? Like, seriously, just kidding. Like, just, but she was pretty young, I guess. Like,
Yeah, she was like 11. She had leg braces.
she was
and Skittles.
22 at least. I mean, I don't know what kind of party we were at. This is your friend's
and first
house.
of all,
No, she was in the bar.
The reason it hurt so much is because there was truth to it.
What? No,
She's
I
a
don't
20
think there was, though. That's why
Then-
he was so
then
mad.
Quit your band.
So then, anyways, like I'm just hanging out, having fun at the party, and all of a sudden my phone rings, and I see it's an LA number, and this person just.
This is like 3 a.m., right?
Yeah, well, or ish. It's after 2 3. Yeah, sure. And fucking all of a sudden this guy on the other line is just like ripping my fucking head off on the phone. He's like, "You fucking think you're big, I'll fucking kill you. I'm like a howler monkey, I'll stab all your eyes out," and all this shit. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, I was kidding. And then he just proceeded to keep flipping out until I just hung up on him.
Well, he had to defend himself against the truth. He was.
You keep saying that. I like my friend. Because he was my friend. That's what was weird too. He like flipped right out, and I was like, I mean, we weren't like best friends growing up together or something, but like you meet him through the scene and stuff. You're like, oh, he's
known
cool.
him for a while, but
yeah, and I still think he's cool. I still
he
think
had
he's
to
cool.
react that way. If he would,
I feel like she called him and started fucking like.
Yeah,
that's so dumb.
It played out, and there was probably, some problems in the relationship, especially being away. Who wants to be in a relationship with somebody? How long were they in LA?
Well, long distance relationship. Who gives like that's just
I've tried.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, I've tried so many times.
A little bit.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Skype helps.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no. Yeah.
That's been
my parents moved away and Skype does help.
Yeah. You can kind of get everyone around. Even for a dinner, you set the computer up at the end of the table.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I think we did that one year at Easter dinner. They put me at the end of the table.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I kept pulling my dick out every time someone said, "Pass me the potatoes." It was a terrible Easter. I was going through the change. I would turn into I put a feather duster up my ass and do cockatoo impressions. Land on shit.
Was this when you were Miss Rouse?
Miss Rouse,
we were
like
talking
that.
about that
Yeah.
at dinner.
Please welcome to the stage.
Or Miss Jason.
Miss Jason. And it's just me, drugged out of my head with a flaccid cock. Is that blood or shit? I mean, it's tangerine, I think. I think he's been in the mango chutney again. Mrs. Jason. Bruised. What was it? You're just going to shovel up. And then my big closer is I piss off the stage into a homeless guy's mouth with a shot glass in it. But none of it goes in the shot glass. Everyone thinks I'm aiming for the shot glass. I'm just trying to get the sunburn off his face. It's kind of like a jellyfish bite, right? Are you supposed to put urine on sunburns?
Yeah. No, jellyfish bites.
Oh. We had a small town. I grew up on the outskirts. So we didn't get all that information that we needed. We just thought anytime that things were hot on your skin, you piss on it. As my grandmother used to say. She had it stitched into a curtain that hung over her. She had a... what are those things, those racks you keep fishing rods on? With cocks on it. And, it was a really rough time. We hated it.
God damn it. Do you have any more questions for me?
Well,
because that's where this started. I was trying to end her, but I will keep going all night. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I think we're going to do some more metal stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you
what
brought up the
context.
first time we met, and then after that was the time with the Hillbillies. That was the next time. And then the next time after that, I think you did like you just came through town and you played with We Found the Body again, because the poster's back in the back hall at Dickens.
Ah, okay.
And so there was and it was somebody else, but so that happened, and I'm sure because I remember that was the one. And I'll throw this name out there, when Kristen Semchuk from BDFM, she's the singer in BDFM, one of two lead singers, she was sitting right in the front row. I was mixing sound for you, and she was sitting right in the front row, and you started doing that frozen piece of dog shit bit on her.
Oh, did
and
I
it
bomb?
went on for like 5... No, there was nobody there.
Oh.
There was like 10 people there. It was terrible because no, dude, you did not bomb. You were fucking hilarious.
I think it
But
was
there
a fun
like,
night, but
it was just one of those. It didn't get promoted right, and
It
like
happens.
it does. It fell through the cracks, right? But it was still like I remember, like you were just going because she sat right in the front row. Like there was nobody there, and her friend went and sat in the front row, and I was like, "What are you doing?" Like when I saw them do that, I was like, "Holy fuck!"
You know, my front rows are empty.
Yeah, right. Like
Empty.
on
It's like the opposite of Marineland, but you end up wet at the end. No one wants to be anywhere near the killer whale tanks. Because this killer whale don't wear a condom and he's aggressive.
So yeah, then I think the next time was the Metal Fest and the story I just told, and then last time we did the album, and then
here we are now. After
are
a fun-filled weekend, I always look forward to seeing you guys.
Oh man,
being in Calgary,
and it was so
and thanks
crazy.
having me around your family and a delicious dinner. I'm honored. You know, I usually stay away from my family. You'll never eat with us. And
that's cool.
every year we'll do it.
Yeah, fuck yeah, no, and like you say, I do look forward to working with you and doing stuff in the future.
Totally. And
You should be the house MC for Metal Fest.
that would be
somehow.
that'd be fantastic. What where can people get a hold of you? Do you have a social media?
BigNameProductions.com, yeah.
Are you do you use your Instagram and your Twitter? And
I'm terrible at
things?
those.
Yeah.
I can only do Facebook. I'm like
Why don't you
left
practice-
brain retarded or something.
Try do some of your. You showed some interest in trying your hand at maybe doing a stand-up set at some point.
Oh yeah. Oh, thanks
Why
for
don't-
bringing this up.
Why don't you experiment?
Yeah.
You've got these platforms.
Okay. Experiment on Instagram.
I would write some funny tweets.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's short form. You've got only so many characters. It's a good writing exercise because you've got a limited amount of space to get your point across. And you can use everything from photo to video, hashtag this, and write and create an idea and build a little song, if you will.
God, if I did actually end up becoming a comic, all you comics would be like, look at this fucking faggot who came up through Twitter.
Hey,
I'm just kidding.
no.
Shouldn't
That,
use
it's
such
funny.
terms, but-
That's nothing to scoff at because YouTube, Twitter, Vine. These kids are stars. They're millionaires.
No, I know it's weird,
And
but that's why I wouldn't want to be lumped in with
the
those.
billboard
Cash Me
next
Outside
to
or
the
whatever.
Comedy Store. I think you might even been around.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
a YouTube channel.
No way.
Yeah, they're all over the Sunset Strip. It's like YouTube shows. YouTube. It's like
Oh,
Hollywood movies.
I know
and
what you're
stuff.
saying. Like,
So don't.
it was pushing people towards their YouTube channel,
Well, yeah, they have
like the
very
advertisement
popular.
on the side of a building.
No, these were like hit productions from YouTube.
Right? Yeah.
Series,
yeah.
ongoing series that
Yes.
they feature films and stuff. And they had anyway. Those media platforms are great for having your hand and see. Like there was a guy who got Conan O'Brien, happened to bomb, but his Twitter following and his joke writing was so popular, and that he was doing stand up and didn't really necessarily have the experience and died on television.
What?
Yeah, but he's
No
he's
way.
got, like,
That's a real story?
yeah. There's a guy not Delaney.
What the
If
fuck?
you
So he
didn't-
went up and bombed and he got back on there again and he died?
Well, he was popular through Twitter.
Oh, okay.
He got a very popular following, like millions of followers. He's a very funny writer.
Okay.
Well, then started doing stand-up, put a little bit of a stand-up set together.
Yeah.
Because of his celebrity and his rough attempt at stand-up comedy,
Yeah.
allowed him to get a performance on the Conan O'Brien show. Well,
Right.
he went up in silence.
Oh, no.
Yeah, kind of like what's happening right now.
No, but so I'm trying to follow your story. So he went up and he bombed, but then he died on TV? Like
No,
didn't
he
die-
got the TV show. The showcases were probably going mediocrely.
Oh, he didn't actually die. He got a show deal and he ate shit.
No, he got on the Conan O'Brien show
Okay.
after he got popular on Twitter,
Okay.
which gained him some stand-up experience, which allowed him to perform on Conan, which in turn died.
He killed him.
No,
No,
didn't.
I mean like his
Venom-
career or a body.
He silence. He was on there talking, and the studio audience is
Wow. Okay, so he bombed so
On-
hard he died.
yeah. No, he didn't die. Dead. He's not
Okay,
dead.
okay.
It's,
I
it's
was
like,
like,
a
we saw
comedy.
murder on TV. I didn't hear about this.
That's kind of cool. Though.
Or like a
if he
death
blew
on
his
TV.
head off on Conan, Andy Richter, can you bring that shovel and bucket, please? This guy panicked.
He comes out with that thing at the bar with the
Yeah,
the brush
movie
and the
theater,
broom
like
and the
scooping up
fucking-
popcorn.
Yeah.
This is embarrassing. Could someone? There's skull on my shoe. Look at it. It's everywhere. So embarrassing.
And the musical guest that night
No.
is Mayhem, just out of
Yeah. They come back for commercial, and the entire cast of Conan O'Brien got skull necklaces, pieces of scalp, ears hanging off of earrings. Malachi. Thanks for being on the show, Nate.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, dude, this is unreal. Let's do it every time.
Cool, man.
Let's Swapcast when I'm in LA next time.
Most definitely.
Oh man.
Canada Day weekend comedy store. I'll
Oh,
be
shit.
there. July 1st, comedy store. It's like the 6th or 7th annual comedy store show. You've got Harlan
Canada Day
Williams,
show.
Russell Peters, Tom Green,
Holy fuck.
myself. There's a bunch of us. Darren Rose.
Darren Rose.
You can run your
Does he
fingers
live
through
down
his
there?
hairs. Yeah.
Oh wow.
He lives right off of Hollywood Boulevard.
Holy
I don't know if I
shit.
should be telling people where he lives, but yeah, he lives in L.A. and we hang
I
out.
keep screwing over Darren Rose just inadvertently.
Yeah, Darren's great. He's good people.
Yeah, he was a really nice guy.
He's a good guy.
It was nice of him to tolerate.
Canadians, you'll never run into any goof situations with Canadian, and if I'd be shocked. At any level of celebrity that I've met Canadians, I'm in the business, but I've seen how they treat other people and stuff.
Yeah.
Canadians are on point.
Yeah,
We're all right.
Yeah, well, that's why Americans put Canadian pins on all their fucking travel wear.
Yeah. Yeah. I got an American flag sold over a glory hole in a truck stop. Fuck me, America.
Fucking A. Well, thanks for getting hard in Nate's backyard.
And thanks for what is your safe word?
Oh, ooh.
There's a part of the new segment of my show called Herbal Laxative. Oh no! And what we do is whoever my co-host pass me that funnel and I'll show you. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. Go to jasonrouse.com and where can they find you?
BigNateProductions.com.
Big Nate Productions. Thanks for listening to the podcast, everybody. More European dates, more metal, Alberta events. I think. Oh, we could say this. The first Sunday in December, the Penthouse Strip Club, Vancouver.
Oh.
I don't know what's going to happen,
Wow.
but we're going to do Jason Rouse's Nightmare Before Christmas show. I think there might be a show at Red Deer, maybe.
Holy
and something
shit.
here. So I think the first 2 weeks, and then I'm going to go to Asia and fuck 11-year-old boys for
Oh,
a month.
well,
and a
it's
half.
legal there, isn't it?
Oh man, I would lose it.
Get that taste in your mouth.
Yeah, it's better than a Werther's original. But yeah, cool, man.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Assholes are like snowflakes. You can punish them with hammers. Buttholes are like birthmarks. They always call the cops pig. I met a little pig at the show. Took her by the hand and said, "Come on, baby, let's go." Push your balls out of the way so I can tit fuck your cunt and shit on your bag. You're the first little girl I met with shit on her nuts. Now put your legs behind your head so I can tit fuck your cunt. 'Cause clearly Daddy's pussy is on the rag today. I've got a Band-Aid. It's called my dick. Let me grab a tampon out of the front of my pants. Don't worry, baby, I'll wash the cum off with my pants. Oh my God, I love you. Oh, I love you. Don't worry, baby, I'll wash the cum off with my shit. With my shit. Don't worry, dirt squirrel. Shit pipe, dirt squirrel. Fuck you like I fuck my bike. Yeah, like my bike. In the ass. Yes. In the ass.
Don't kiss me on the mouth. Don't ask if you're hurting me. And if you hear the safe word, stop what you're doing immediately. Do you have pantyhose?